Welcome once more to a session in basic science where we'll be talking about weather. Now, as we all know, we are in a very, very precarious time when it comes to our climatic condition and our atmosphere. So when we talk about weather, it's a big deal. First of all, what is weather? Now, you must know that weather is the state of a particular environment at a given period of time. Weather is the state of a particular environment at a given period of time. Might I add that weather does not denote an internal place, or rather an internal environment or internal surrounding. For example, your room. Weather deals with the outside or the external environment, your external environment. This leads us to climatic condition. What is a climate? Climate is the weather condition of a place over a period of time, a long period of time. So the way an environment or a location, a locale is situated or is conditioned over a long period of time makes up what we call the climatic condition of that same environment. Now, we might ask, who are those who deal or who study these weather pattern or climatic condition? If you must note, a person that studies weather or predicts the weather is called a meteorologist or a weather forecaster. I think that again. A person that studies the weather or predicts the weather is called a meteorologist or a weather forecaster. You might remember whenever we watch our news bulletin or news headlines or news desk from the different news forums we have in our country. Usually at the end of most of their news programs, they usually talk about the weather system, where is going to be, where is a flash point for rain, where is going to be a sunny point for the sun, or it's going to be hot, or it's going to be cold. They give us the different, or it's going to be hazy or foggy or any. They also use those words to classify. Now, those people who are reporting those feedback to us, they are known as the meteorologist or weather forecaster, because they are forecasting. The word forecast means prediction. They are looking ahead. They are looking into the future. They are telling you what is going to happen. So they can tell you that rain will fall by so and so time, by 10 p.m. And by 10 p.m. you can be watching your watch. You can be looking at your wristwatch. At least within that sphere of 9:30 and 10:30 or even 11 p.m. you will see the rainfall. That means they forecasted it and it happens. So you can otherwise just call them, they're like a prophet or even a fortune teller. They can tell you what's going to happen in the future. That being said, what are the symbols we can use in recognizing the different weather pattern? How do we recognize the different weather and the conditions around those weather? Meteorologists make use of these symbols when recording and forecasting weather. When they are casting their weather or their weather forecast, they always make use of the following symbols. Sun. You will see the symbols later, but let me just give you a lowdown of the different conditions of the weather. We have the sunny condition, the rainy condition, the cold condition, the cloudy condition, the lightning condition, and finally the hot condition. These are all some of the symbols you will be seeing as regards to all these weather patterns. Now take a look at all these symbols. We have the clear nights. We have the partly cloudy nights. Clear nights has the crescent moon, having the stars, everything is just shining. You can even see the depth of the night in terms of the not really a black night, but it kind of a purple-like or navy blue-like structure of our cloud or our atmosphere. Well, not our sky. That's what I'm looking for. Our sky. We have the partly cloudy night. which is when there is a bit cloudy, is showing that something is about to happen, or it's going to be windy, it's going to be rainy, anything. So it becomes cloudy and a bit cool. We have the windy night. This is also brought by the partly cloudy night. The wind comes in, very strong, blowing of things. We have the snowy condition. This is where you see snowflakes falling from this cloud. These are usually occur or usually are witnessed by those at the western world, or those close to the snowy area where they have winters. Free from this end, we don't observe much of snow. We have our own peculiar weather pattern too. We have tornadoes represented by a vortex. The vortex there, it shows that is highlighting something that is being pulled or carried in a hollow or a spherical spiral movement. The tornado can be a very destructive force at the height of its power. It has been able to pull even houses away. So tornado can be very, very strong. I mean, growing up, I could remember when we are having those wind, and you just see those wind, you come and you see things flying, and the two will just what to come from our mind is then we used to call it by our local slang. We usually call it mami water. Mami water is going to market. That means the mermaid that comes from the water is going to market. Means there is a superstition behind the pool, the whirlpool by the wind at that moment. But it's all myth, it's all from our ideology, or it's all from traditions. The right thing to say is tornado. There is a gust of wind around that particular vicinity or surrounding. Now we also have the next one, which is lightning. It's always represented by a cloud with a lightning sign. Those of us that love comic a lot, we are familiar with people that have lightning power, and you know what they use. People like Thor and Zeus and the rest, Shazam, all those people. So lightning sign shows whenever you see a cloud and a lightning sign, which is like a sigma or like an S sign, but a sharp X. More like this sign, you just know that is lightning. Then usually lightning is denoted with yellow. That's the difference between lightning. And then thunder is the same thing. But thunder we use blue. Now the difference between lightning, they are not the same thing. They work as the same thing, but they're not the same thing. Lightning is the light that shines, the bright light you see whenever a thunder strikes or a thunder roars. Whenever you hear the thunder is the blast, the sound you hear. Brah, that's a thunder sound. But the figure or the light that shows like an electric current moving is what we call lightning. Hence why when we represent it with our electrical current, we call it lightning bolts. Lightning bolts. Now the next figure after thunder you see is fog. Now fog let me just take this three at a time. Fog, the next one after fog is haze, and then the next one, the two step after haze is mist. Let me take the three of them at a time. They are similar. The difference between fog, haze, and mist is very very thin. Haze is when we view our sun and it's like the sun is a bit faded. The cloud has come between the sun and it's like we can see the sun, but it's a bit like faded. That moment is a hazy moment. The sun is beaming the cloud to us, and it's a bit dull, kind of blurry. It's a blurry feel that moment. Fog is when the vanishing point, the end point of our eye contact, we cannot see what is going ahead because everywhere is listen. Mist, it tends to be why fog is dissipated. Fog is more vast. It's more open. It's more spread around. Mist is a bit connected together, but mist brings a lot. Mist comes with a complete visual impairment. Means it usually comes when mist arrives. It comes, it's from the cloud, and it's a cloudy feel that what you also notice water vapor sometimes. If you look at your daddy's cars, or you look at your own car, or you look at anything that is having glass-like feel, anything that have glass. You look at your glass in the morning, you might find out that it's a bit covered, a bit covered with where you cannot see yourself. The vision is impaired, except you wipe it off. And when you wipe it up, you will find that it's water. So it's like a gas that has been deposited on that particular body. So that's mist. While fog is a complete impairment of vision. It doesn't really come like a water vapor, but it just impairs and you cannot see from a far distance. It usually happens in this part of our world where we witness what we call Harmattan period. Then we have the partly cloudy. Now this is when the sun, difference between the partly cloudy night and the partly cloudy is, the partly cloudy is when the sun is up. That means it's the daytime and it's just cloudy. We have sunshine. When the sun is at its peak, it's sunshine moment. We have also the rain. Rain, represented by a cloud and droplets of water, is rainfall. You have the drizzle. Now drizzle, unlike rain we have more showers, more shower drops, but drizzle we only have minute droplets. So drizzle or showers is represented by just about 2 or 3 droplets whenever you are representing it in the symbol. 2 or 3. But rainfall has multiple, over 3. 3 and above. Then we have cloudy, when the cloud is a bit the weather is not sunny, the weather is just so calm and serene. That's a cloudy moment. Now these are the weather maps. We've touched on most of them. In the weather map, we've touched on most of them. The foggy night. The foggy night is when you come out, much like the mist or the mist or the haze. You tend to see that everywhere is a bit covered with kind of a smoky or smoke-like feeling, mist like that. All right, now the next one is, which one have we not touched here? Rain and sun. Now this happens when the sun, and there's a cloud showing the rain droplets. When you have the sun, partly cloud, and droplets is a sun and rain fall at the moment. Then rain and snow. There is a moment witnessed by those in the Western world, those from the close to the Arctic Circle, that witness rain and fall. Their rain sometimes comes with droplets of snowballs, and that is what we call rain and sun. We represent that by a cloud, droplets of water, and also droplet or design or figures of snowballs. So you can just draw a little circle that has white, representing your snowball. Factors affecting weather. We have different factors affecting weather. We have wind, sunshine, rainfall, temperature, humidity, cloud, and atmospheric pressure. Now, if you go through all those, you will see some symbols by the side. You can go through, you know all of them, thunderstorm and the rest. You will go through them. But all these factors have different points by which they are being radiated or they are being calculated too. So let's see how the instruments that are used to calculate or measure these factors. Number one instrument you see there is thermometer. We have the thermometer. We talked about the different climatic condition or the weather map and symbols. We have the thermometer. It is used to measure the temperature of a person or an environment. It's not just limited to a person. You can use the thermometer to measure the temperature around a particular environment. We have number two, the barometer, which is used to measure the atmospheric pressure of a climatic condition. For example, the pressure of the atmosphere at certain period of time. The barometer is used to measure that particular pressure. We have the anemometer. The anemometer is used to measure the speed of wind. The anemometer is used to measure the speed of wind. We also have the rain gauge. The rain gauge is used to measure the quantity of or amount of rainfall. They are used to identify how much rainfall, if it is heavy rain, if it's torrential rain, if it is a mild rain, just a light rain, or just a drizzle or something. The rain gauge is the one that is used to gauge that particular that particular measurement or that particular line of structure of rainfall to know how strong or how light it is. We have the hygrometer. Now the hygrometer should not be mistaken for the hydrometer. Now the hygrometer is used to measure the water vapor in the air. The water specific on the water vapor in the air. Hence the word hydro. When the word hydro comes in, you know this water is used to measure the amount of water in a soluble condition. So the hydrometer is different from the hygrometer. We're talking about the hydro here, which is used to measure the water vapor in our atmosphere. We now have the clock. Of course, this is the obvious one. All of us know what the clock is used for. Check time, tell time, show time. That's what the clock is all about. Finally, we have the photon meter. Now, the photon meter is used to check or measure the light intensity. We call it the luminosity of light. We know that light is in the spectrum, light is visible as the emotions that we have. So light is what brings about all the colors in our rainbow. All are emitted by light. What is used to measure the amount of light or the intensity of light is photon meter. That being said, you have an assignment, a duty to handle. Your work is to go home. You have to define weather. You go home, you define, or you stay at your home, you define weather. Where you are, you can identify 4 factors affecting weather within your climatic condition or within your locality. You can be in London, you can be in South Africa, you can be down the world down under, which is Australia. You can even be in Nigeria. Just identify 4 factors affecting weather. I must chip this in this line. There is global warming in our world today. Global warming has caused the change or the irregularity in our weather pattern. There is some irregular weather pattern. These days we have rain falling in times where it should be dry. You have dryness in times where it should be hazy or harmattan. You have harmattan coming up in times where there will be rainy. At the different part of the world where they are working with the four weather pattern, which is summer, spring, winter, and autumn. You have the reading these days is no longer that stable. This is due to the what we call the global warming. Our world is changing. Even the polar ice cap in the Arctic Circle, in the Antarctica area, is being melted. And if it completely melts, we know that water makes for most parts of a vast majority of our world. It's made for 2/3 of our world measurement. The other 1/3 is made of land. So imagine if the one that have been formed to become mountainous, the mountain-sized polar ice caps are being melted. We have what we call flooding. These days we are witnessing flooding a lot. Why? Because of the high tide or high rise in water system. This is due to global warming. And I will ask this again, considering we're in Nigeria. This year there will be there will be flooding. The rains are here, the rains are with us. There will be flooding. We must make sure we take time to manage our ecosystem, manage our environment. If we do not manage our environment and take care of the ecology very well, the devastation that flooding brings will ravage our towns and it will enter our cities. The third thing you must do in your assignment, ensure you mention 7 weather instruments and their uses. 7 weather instruments and their uses. And finally, identify and write 3 simple weather symbols. You just draw it, just identify it, illustrate it a bit, and just submit it in the gazetted area you're meant to do that. Before we end for today, I want to first of all, let's go through our exam guide to see what question is there from the past years, the yesteryears, to see what is there for us if we can answer a question. And I want to take this one question from the year 2019. In our year 2019, there's a question that interests me a lot in question number 49. The question says, what weather symbol is represented in the diagram below? If you look at your screen, you will see the diagram. Now it's a diagram of a cloud that is bringing about, what you're seeing there is snowflakes. And there is only one weather symbol that identifies it. So whenever you see something like this in this symbol, you can just, because of your prior knowledge, you know about the symbols already. You can just see the symbol. The only symbol that have a snowflake falling from the cloud is your snow. So the answer to that question in that year, the answer in that year is D, which is snow. Your answer is snow. It's snowflakes that are falling down.